everybody, it is Bridget here from Bridget's Healthy Kitchen, the home of healthy, delicious, where all week we are celebrating the amazing, vibrant, beautiful and absolutely delicious cuisine of Mexico. If you are joining me for the first time, welcome into my kitchen. It's great to have you here. We specialize in all the healthy, delicious stuff, and this week, super exciting for me, I am an absolute lover of Mexican food, and any opportunity I get, I literally try to incorporate something that I know just absolutely speaks of the fabulous flavors that you get within Mexican food. So today I'm going to teach you guys how to make cauliflower tacos. And you know, when it comes to cauliflower tacos, they're pretty easy to make, and literally there's like 3 ingredients, so they're wonderful. They're grain-free, literally made with vegetables. But I'm also going to teach you guys how to make a couple of different salsas, because one of the real beauties about Mexican food is that they create these fresh salsa, and it's the salsa that you start to mix with different ingredients that really creates quite an incredible dish. So yesterday we did a chicken and chocolate stew, which is a chicken mole, and I shared that recipe just a couple of hours ago. If you want to download that recipe as a PDF or print it off, Mahe, can you throw up the link to the chicken mole? We did a video on that yesterday. We did a cooking class on that yesterday. I shared the recipe this morning on our page, Bridget's Healthy Kitchen, and now we're going to create the tacos that you can put the chicken mole into. So we're going to do a chicken mole taco, which is exciting, and I'm also going to teach you guys how to make 2 types of salsa as well, fresh salsa to go with our taco. So it's a great class, really awesome way to use it, not just chicken mole, but any type of Mexican style food as well. Go really nice in a cauliflower taco. So come on down to my bench. Let's get into the recipe. As I was saying, it's pretty simple to make. It doesn't require a lot of ingredients, but there is a couple of steps. So I'm going to teach you guys the steps today. First thing you need to do, of course, is grab yourself up a wonderful cauliflower. So cauliflower in Australia and New Zealand, really good prices at the moment because they are in season. So I think I picked up this cauliflower for like $1.50. You can't go wrong, right? And it's about a 500 gram, or just about a pound worth of cauliflower. And the recipe that I'm giving you guys today will make you, depending on how big you make your tacos, and tacos tend to be quite small, right? They tend to be something you can hold in your hand. That's the idea with the tacos. So we're doing obviously a soft taco, and depending on how big you make your tacos, you're probably going to get 6 to 8 from this recipe. So once you've got your fresh cauliflower, and yes, you need fresh, this recipe doesn't really work if you're trying to use frozen cauliflower, because it tends to be quite waterlogged, and we need to get rid of the water. So fresh is best here, and what you want to do is you want to firstly make the cauliflower rice. So when you're making cauliflower rice, it really pays to slice your fresh cauliflower into even sized slices. What you've noticed that I'm not doing is I'm not breaking it into florets, which is what we sort of commonly do when it comes to making your cauliflower rice. You definitely want to slice it into really even slices. So you need 500 grams of your fresh cauliflower, which is just over a pound of raw cauliflower. And then taking up your little magic machine, this is definitely the easiest way to do it. You could grate the cauliflower on a grater if you don't have one of these little food processors, but it literally is the easiest way to do it. And what I find when I'm making the cauliflower rice is don't overfill your machine, because when you overfill your machine, it doesn't rice down as evenly as if you just, probably I would do about 4 fills to get myself all that into rice. When you remember, you're after about 500 grams of raw cauliflower turned into rice. So definitely easier if you use our little machine here. And what you're after, if you've never made cauliflower rice before, you're after the cauliflower to be sort of resembling rice. That's what we're after there. Easy, right? Okay, so you want to do that. Like I said, don't overfill your little machine. It definitely pays to work in batches, because that way it's going to be wonderful and even in its slices, and there's less chance of you having, you know, big pieces of cauliflower, which can be really, really painful. So once you have processed all your cauliflower, remember you need 500 grams, this is for this recipe. Once you've processed all your cauliflower, you'll then go, and imagine I've done that. Imagine I have spent the time necessary to go through and turn all my 500 grams of raw cauliflower into rice. Then you can see that I've got my rice here in a glass bowl. You can also put yours in a plastic bowl as well, but you need something that's microwavable, because the easiest and the quickest way to turn this now into cooked cauliflower rice is to head over to the microwave. And when you've got your 500 grams in here, you can microwave this on high for 4.5 minutes on high, yeah? So that way the rice will begin to, well, the cauliflower will begin to cook through, but you don't want to overcook it. And what you'll find at the end is you'll have this big steaming bowl of rice. So after your 4.5 minutes, you bring it out of the microwave and it'll be quite hot and steaming. So grab up your spoon and just allow, like doing this sort of action with the cooked cauliflower rice is going to allow the steam to escape. Because what you want to do now is obviously you want to turn it into tacos, and now it just looks like rice. Now here's some that I made earlier. So this is cooked. It looks pretty much the same as when it was raw, but I've allowed this to cool down. It's really important that what you do now is you allow the cauliflower at least 10 to 15 minutes to cool down. The reason you want to allow it to cool down because you're going to squeeze all the moisture out of that. And if you try and do that when that's fresh out of the microwave, you will get steam burns. So you need to allow this. Remember, take your spoon and mix it around to allow the steam to escape, and then let this mixture cool down for at least 10 15 minutes before you start the squeezing process. And the squeezing process is easy. So take yourself up a clean tea towel. This is my Jan tea towel. If Jan's watching, she knows exactly who she is, and she gave me this tea towel filled with the most amazing herbs straight from her garden. So this is my Jan tea towel, nice and clean. Spoon out your cooked cauliflower rice right into the middle of your tea towel, by the way, right down into the middle. And then take up the corners of your tea towel, just like this, all the corners, just like that. Over a sink or over a bowl, you are then going to start the process, which is the squeeze. And you're going to put the big squeeze on. And as you can see, as I'm squeezing it, what is then happening is I am removing all the moisture that is still trapped inside that cooked cauliflower. So we need to remove as much moisture as possible. So if it's just you at home, the secret is you just keep on twisting. Did you see my movement there? I'll do it one more time. I'm literally, even though I think I can't squeeze anymore, I'm literally just taking the end of my tea towel and just squeezing it again, and what I'm getting is even more liquid out of it. You know, push down on the front end of it just to keep on extracting moisture. If there's 2 people in the house, or you've got a friend who can help you, phone a friend time, you grab one end each of the tea towel, and then you all squeeze in opposite directions is a way that we do it in the kitchen. And believe it or not, this technique is something we do in kitchens. It helps to get a really, really smooth puree. So yeah, it's actually it's a chef technique that I got taught it when I was a very young apprentice. Now you can see that I've actually extracted a decent amount of water out of there. Like there's quite a bit. And if there was more cauliflower, this is only half the amount. Remember, you're doing 500 grams raw. You're going to have twice the amount of liquid, chances are, coming out of your cauliflower. So just keep on squeezing. Take your time here. This is the most difficult part. It's not difficult, actually. This is just the part that you want to get right, because you want the cauliflower to be quite dry. So once you feel that you've extracted as much of the liquid out of there as possible, take yourself up a clean bowl. Where's my clean bowl? I'll just do it in this one. That's big enough. Take yourself up a clean bowl and then just carefully unwind your little tea towel package of what is going to be very, very, very dry cauliflower. It's almost, yeah, it's like a little paste here. And the reason you want to extract out that liquid is because there's not, there's not a lot of flavor in that liquid. It tends to just be the moisture that was contained in there. So right now what we have been able to do, just by that little squeezing action, is we have really concentrated the flavor because we removed the water, which is great. So dry cauliflower, look at that, that's dry. That's really dry. That's really dry. We need to add a bit more moisture back in there, but the way that we're going to do this is actually by adding flavor at the same time. So I've got an egg here, and for 500 grams of cauliflower, you're probably going to use between 1 to 2 eggs. So what you want to do is you, for 500 grams, you want to break 2 eggs into here, 2 eggs. Give it a little bit of a mix through with your 2 eggs, just so the yolk and the whites are fully incorporated. Definitely grab yourself up some seasoning and a little bit of salt and a little bit of pepper. And this is the part that's going to be all determined on how much water you are able to extract. So you don't want to add all the egg in at the same time. What you actually want to do is just add half to begin with. So half of your 2 egg mixture goes in there. Give it a little bit of a stir. You may or may not need to add the other egg. We'll find out very soon because it's a consistency that you're looking for here. So I'm going to add a little bit more flavor to my coconut, my egg mixture, sorry, and I'm going to be doing that with coconut. So for your 500 grams, you're going to be adding in 2 tablespoons of shredded coconut. Look, you don't have to add coconut in here, but I really like it. So I am. Yes, Mahi, we got a question.
Can you do with frozen cauliflower rice when it's defrosted?
Ideally not using frozen with this recipe. This is one really that you need to do with fresh cauliflower. I would avoid it. It's just going to get too soggy, the frozen stuff. So definitely go with fresh when it comes to making these tacos. So firstly I added, remember, 2 tablespoons of shredded coconut. That's for flavor. And I'm also going to be adding in, once again for flavor, you'll be adding in 1 tablespoon of nutritional yeast. And you guys know I love nutritional yeast because it's got amazing B vitamins in there, but it's, once again, it's that flavor explosion that you get from it. So those 2 are in there. Give them a bit of a stir. And what you're looking for is you don't want this to be soggy. If this is too soggy, you maybe have added too much egg, or you've added, you haven't squeezed enough liquid from your cauliflower, and what's going to happen is they're not going to cook very nicely. You want it to be moldable, so it's still soft, but it's not soggy or wet. I still am going to have the ability to be able to pop that onto my tray and then create a wonderful taco. So that's the consistency that you're after, yeah? You can see that it's holding together really well, but it's not soggy. So I'm not even going to bother to add any more egg, and like I said, depending on how much moisture you extract out of your cauliflower, and also just depending on how fine you rice your cauliflower as well, will determine how much egg you need to add. I don't need to add any more. I'm really happy with that consistency that I've got there. So taking up a tray lined with baking paper. By the way, I've got my oven set on 200 degrees Celsius, which is 390 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm now going to create my tacos. So tacos in general are round. So you're wanting to create round shapes. And as I said, you're probably going to get 6 to 8 tacos out of this mixture. So that was a heaped tablespoon that I put down onto my baking paper lined tray, and then just using my spoon and my fingers, clean fingers, I'm just going to attempt to create a circle. Now, don't be too concerned if you're like, wow, my circle looks a little bit lopsided. It doesn't matter. Like, get as much of a circle as you can, but literally don't stress if you're looking at it going, hang on, that's not a circle. Because it's all, you know, aesthetics at the end of the day. What we're looking to achieve by creating, you know, this taco is that it's evenly flat throughout, and we don't want it to be too thick because it's going to cook unevenly as well. So that's your main aim, as opposed to like, oh no, I need to make sure I'm in a circle. Your main aim is to make sure that it's patted out nice and evenly, so we don't have too many, you know, we don't have a big piece and a thin piece, otherwise it won't cook evenly. But also that, you know, you can actually spread this mixture. Remember, that was just 1 heaped tablespoon. You can spread it quite far on your tray, and also make sure there's no holes. So if there's a hole, just do a little bit of surgery, press it down, make sure that it's lovely and complete. I'll do it one more time so you guys can see. Remember, just a heaped tablespoon, and it's a really nice idea to sort of start with a circle if you can. That always helps, that really does. And then using your spoon, the back of your spoon, and your lovely clean fingers, you're just going to pat the mixture down evenly. And you'll notice I'm sort of patting in a circle too. I'm going around clockwise in a circle, because that as well helps, because I'm doing it evenly, which is a really good idea. So keep on patting, you know, keep on using your spoon if you need to, but you can sort of see now that we're getting this quite uniform size from our tacos, which is so cool. It is just brilliant. I'm so impressed with cauliflower most of the time, because there's so many wonderful things that you can do with it. You know, we made that amazing cauliflower cake, chocolate cake, the magic chocolate cake I call it, which is just blowing still now, even though we released it like a couple of months ago. It's still blowing people's mind at how you can actually put cauliflower into your chocolate cake, and it tastes incredible. Like, it is so crazy. And then you can make, you know, cauliflower tacos, or you can make, you know, cauliflower mash, which is an obvious one, or you can turn it into rice and serve it with that chicken mole that we made yesterday. It's just so versatile and so incredibly good for us that it just, you know, it needs to be celebrated. Cauliflower is fabulous, and we need to celebrate it as much as possible. All right, so once you're at this stage, oh, we got a question. Yes, Mahi?
What was the temperature again?
What was the temperature? Thank you. What is the temperature of the oven? The temperature is set at 200 degrees Celsius, which is 390 degrees Fahrenheit. So that is, my oven is obviously heated already. So I'm going to take this over to the oven, and this is going to go in for 8 minutes. So set your timer for 8 minutes. And it's going to take me a little bit. I'm actually cooking them. So I'm going to set my timer. 8 minutes. I hope you can hear that. 8 minutes. It's in the oven. So while that's in the oven, let's even think about doing other stuff, yeah? Let's think about creating a bit of salsa. Because salsa is, like I said, it is almost like it's the cornerstone of Mexican food, is to have these really fresh, really vibrant salsas. So I'm going to turn over my chopping board and start anew. Give it a little bit of a wipe down. Turn over my chopping board, and let's start thinking about our salsas. So I'm creating 2 types of salsas for you guys today. The first one is what is known as a pico de gallo. Now, pico de gallo, if you were to translate it from Spanish, pico de gallo means the beak of the chicken. And it's said that the reason why this particular salsa, which is a tomato-based salsa, is called the beak of the chicken, because traditionally people would eat their pico de gallo by actually pinching it between their thumb and pointer finger, and that's how they would pick it up and then put it into their tacos. So that's why it's called pico de gallo, or the beak of a chicken, which I just love the history behind this. But what it essentially is, it's also called a salsa fresca, which means a fresh salsa. So I'm using, obviously, fresh tomatoes. And what you want to do, easy stuff, is slice your tomato into even-sized cubes. Some people would go as far as to remove the seeds as well, But I'm using a Roma tomato, or the oval shaped tomatoes. So they tend to have less seeds and less acid than their round counterparts. So if you can track down Roma tomatoes or the oval shaped egg tomatoes, I find that they tend to be quite good for creating these fresh little salsas, because of their low acid or low acidity, and they don't have as many tomatoes, as many seeds. But I don't like to throw the seeds away because I just find it to be such a waste. But I'll leave that up to you. If you're not a seed fan, there's nothing stopping you from actually just not using the seeds and then just slicing up the flesh. And you can kind of see that, you know, it is a rustic salsa. You don't have to be perfect. What you're aiming for is small cubes of the tomato, evenly sliced as possible. Don't be too concerned. But the real beauty, as I was saying, when it comes to the salsa, is that it's fresh. So you do it not long before you intend to eat it. So we've got a tomato in there. You put in a couple of tomatoes. I'm also going to put in some red onion. So once again, we want the onion to be, you know, fairly even sized slices. So you're cutting the onion into brunoise, which is the French term for small dice. Take your time. You want to cut the onion, not your fingers. So don't worry if it, you know, takes a bit of time. That now goes in there. So we've got our onion. We got our tomato. I probably won't add that much onion actually, because I've only got one tomato. But I mean, I would normally make a salsa with 3 or 4 tomatoes at the same time because it needs to feed everybody. So don't be, you know, double, triple, quadruple the recipe that I'm showing you guys now. Make it how you feel. The beauty about a salsa is it's not really, you know, have the same ingredients, but the levels of how much tomato and how much onion you add, I'll just leave that up to you. So that is kind of the base of our salsa. Easy, right? But we're going to add a little bit of chili. Well, I'm going to add a bit of chili. You can either add fresh red chilies chopped up really small. You could add dried chilies. I'm actually going to be adding pickled chilies. So these are called jalapenos, and they're a type of chili, very, very popular in Mexican cuisine. And I buy these pickled in just a brine with a little bit of salt. There's no sugar in here. And I buy them already pre-pickled in a very big jar. And you can get them from your supermarket. I picked mine up from Costco. They're pretty cheap, and they definitely have a different flavor. I don't find them nearly as hot as red chilies, and I really do. It's almost like I'm not going to say a cold, but it has a chilledness to it that is quite indicative of this particular type of chili, the jalapeno. So bit of jalapeno, bit of chili goes in there. I'm also just going to add in just a little bit of garlic, freshly. Look, I just chopped all my garlic this morning. Took me a while to peel it, but never mind. A little bit of garlic goes in there. Not too much because it is raw garlic, so you don't want to be smelling too garlicky. Of course, let's add in a little bit of salt. Of course, we need to add some flavor. A little bit of pepper. At this point in time, you can also just put a pinch of cumin powder in this. Makes it very delicious as well, but I'll leave that up to you whether you want to. Give it a bit of a stir. Make this as the tacos are cooking. You know, this is one of those, like I said, the fresh is best, hence why pico de gallo is also known as salsa fresca. So we've got a nice little mix happening there. I'm just going to add a little bit of lemon juice. Traditionally, salsas are made usually with lime juice, but if limes are expensive in your part of town, feel free to just squeeze in some fresh lemon juice right over the top of that wonderful ingredients that we have in there. Another little stir, and the last thing I'm going to think about adding into it is some fresh coriander or cilantro. So I'm going to be going, as per usual, for this part, the stems of the coriander. Now, if you don't like coriander, you don't have to add it, but I like coriander, and so it's getting added. But if you don't like it, you know, you could use another fresh herb, like, you know, by all means, add mint or add basil or add chives or whatever sort of fresh herb, fresh and light herb that you like, or just leave them out altogether. I have to say, you know, the coriander or the cilantro does make it look really attractive, but it's that flavor that you get from it that is just so wonderful with all these ingredients. So that's our first salsa made, our pico de gallo, done and dusted. The next one, already got some chopped onion, fantastic. The next one is it's just another classic, absolute classic. And you know, it's up to you whether you create a guacamole, which is more of a smooth sort of a sauce or salsa, or you create, which is what I'm going to do, is I'm going to create more of a chunky salsa, because that's just the way I like it. So I'll leave this up to you as well. It also depends on how ripe your avocados are. Mine is perfectly ripe, not too ripe so that it just mushes on me, but I then have the ability to go through with my little knife here, and I'm cutting down, but I'm not cutting through. That's really definitely an important feature of what I'm doing now. So I'm just creating cubes with this, but I'm not cutting through the skin, because that's dangerous. So you just want to go down until you feel the skin at the bottom of the knife, and then taking up, oh, beep beep, guess what's ready? Taking up our spoon, we're just going to spoon out our little chunks. Easy, right? Hold that thought. I'm going for the tacos. Alright, woo! Okay, apart from steaming up my glasses, which wasn't a great thing, not that you can see that, this is after 8 minutes here in the oven. So what you'll notice is that we've got a lovely browning around the edge, but very easily I'm able to pick them up and then throw them, no, don't throw them, place them ever so gently back down onto your baking sheet. And then we're just going to cook this in the oven for a further 2 minutes. So 10 minutes in total, but a further 2 minutes back in the oven. 2 minutes. So 2 more minutes is going to finish it off. So 10 minutes in total is going to make our tacos. Enough time for me to finish off my salsa. As I was saying, I'm making a chunky avocado salsa. If you wanted to, you could put this literally in the blender and make it really, really smooth. If you wanted to, you could use a fork and make it kind of mashy. I love the chunks of avocado in there, not too big, you know, little small cubes, kind of similar size as our pico de gallo, because I like to bite down and get these different flavors as I'm eating. So avocado, of course, needs lemon to stop it from oxidizing or going brown. So we're going to add some of that fresh lemon juice. I'm trying to do it without adding any pips. I'll just take them out. There we go. So fresh lemon juice goes on. Like I said, this not just, you know, helps it to stop oxidizing or going brown, which is nasty, but also the lemon or lime juice is going to help to give it that wonderful flavor that we know so well when it comes to, you know, avocado or guacamole or avocado salsa, whatever you want to call it. So be generous with the lemon. Be generous, you know, with your squeezing of the lemon. I've kind of almost used half a lemon freshly juiced into that half an avocado. So, you know, be generous with it. Definitely give it that wonderful bit of seasoning, salt, pepper. If you wanted to, you could add some chili, jalapenos or red chilies, or if you like a little bit spicy. If you wanted to, you could add a little bit of garlic as well. Not much again. Like literally, I'm probably not even adding in, it's probably like 1/4 of a teaspoon, because garlic will definitely hold its own. Even though that's just such a small amount of garlic in there, it will hold its own in this particular salsa, this avocado salsa. So you don't have to go overboard. I mean, if you like garlic, go for it. But, you know, for me, 1/4 of a teaspoon's enough for half an avocado. All right, that is the beep. So that is telling me that our tacos are done. So ta-ta-ta-ta-ta. And look, I mean, they're straight out of the oven, so it's still got some good steam in there. That is what you're after. You want the ability to be able to mold that taco in your hand, because yes, tacos are eaten with your hand. That's why I love this recipe so much, because look how easy they are and look how soft they are as well to mold, which is just perfect. So put that there. We're just going to finish off what we have here. As I was saying, chilies, up to you. You know, whether you add lemon or lime juice, completely up to you. It's up to you. This is the base of it, provided it is fresh. Once again, just like the salsa fresca or the pico de gallo, you want to make these just before you serve them, because you really are going to get the full extent of the pleasure of eating them. So salsas get made while the tacos are cooking in the oven. And of course, you guys know what happened yesterday, right? Yesterday, if you are a regular viewer of our live cooking classes here in Bridget's Healthy Kitchen, you would know that yesterday I made chicken mole, which is our chicken and chocolate stew, a classic recipe from Mexico, very classic. And you know, for a lot of people, I did notice some of the comments where they had never heard of anyone ever combining chicken with chocolate, with dark chocolate, by the way, cacao and dark chocolate. But it is a very commonplace in Mexico. And in fact, they have been doing it for centuries. It is a centuries-old combination of flavors. Goes right back to the Aztecs, who were the wonderful folk who realized just how good, you know, grabbing something off the from the cocoa bean could create the most amazing decadent chocolate. So my chicken mole here, I use chicken thigh, and one of the beauties about this recipe is you get pull apart, like literally like pulled chicken from your chicken mole, which is ideal if you're making a taco. So I've got kind of like my ingredients before me. Happy days. There's only one more thing that I'm going to be adding to our chicken mole taco. Coconut yogurt. Yeah, coconut yogurt is wonderful. I know you normally think of having something like a taco with maybe a little bit of sour cream on the side, or another type of Mexican style soft cheese as well. But I'm actually going to use coconut yogurt, unsweetened of course, because it is amazingly good at mixing all these flavors together that we have here on my work surface. So let's take a taco. I'm going to do everything in my hand. And what's really nice is literally make your tacos, stack them on the table, have your salsas there, have the yogurt, have the pulled chicken, and let everyone do it themselves. That's the other beauty about this, is you don't have to pre-make these tacos. In fact, the best way to do it is for whoever's eating to make it themselves, because they get to go straight from the making to the mouth. So, so there's no mucking around. All right, I'm just breaking up my chicken mole there. I'm gonna start down the bottom with the chicken. I'm also adding that fabulous mole sauce, because that's where all the flavor is as well. So that's our base. Let's start down there. Ooh, what to do next? I'm a little bit excited. All right, I know what to do next. Bit of avocado go on as well. You could have a taco party. In fact, you should, because you just do all the prep, and then whoever's coming to your party, whether it's just you and yourself, or it'll be me and Mahi and the kids, they get to make their own tacos, which is wonderful. Bit of yogurt, of course. Bit of that wonderful, unsweetened coconut yogurt. Oh yeah. Oh gosh. I can't wait. Can't wait. Okay. All right. Yep. That's in. Looking good. Looking very moldable, which is fantastic. Okay, I'm just going to add a pinch of salt, because why not? Oh, I've got some coriander here. So let's just also add a couple pieces of coriander to it, because yum, and it just works so well. And then you have, look at that. Isn't that incredible? Like seriously, you are able to make this with those amazing ingredients. If you don't have the pulled chicken mole, any type of leftover protein can go into this. It doesn't even have to be meat. There's nothing stopping you from, putting tofu in there, or just having maybe a vegetable curry and just drain off some of the liquid so you've got more of the vegetables. There's 1,000,001 ways that you can fill up your cauliflower tacos, but it's time to eat, because there's no way that I could just not eat that, because I've got to try it. So this is how you eat a taco. You don't turn the taco to your head. You actually turn your head towards the taco. Did you know that? That was something I learned as well. So if you're wanting to eat your taco like this, you're actually doing that, yeah? Oh my gosh. Wow. Can I just say wow? That is absolutely phenomenal. That Mate, it's absolutely phenomenal. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. The sensation of the salsa on that decadent and rich chocolate mole, chicken mole that we made. And then you also get the creaminess and the slight acid hit from the coconut yogurt. And then those chunks of avocado, you know, and there are so many flavors going on in my mouth right now. If you were to say to me that that's healthy, I'd be like, surely not. There's no way, because that is just literally heavenly. It is heavenly. You have to try this. Make the tacos, make the salsa, put whatever, you know, whatever protein you want in your taco, and it is just a heavenly combination. But my favorite thing about this is look how well, oh, tomato, don't want to waste it. Look how well the taco is held together. Like, apart from me being Miss Piggy and dropping the tomato on the table, it's actually held its shape. And that had to do with that ringing action, you know, of drying it out, and then that quick cook in the oven. Oh, I love Mexican food so much. I really hope you try this. Like, I really, really hope you try it. It is a flavor sensation. It really, really is. So thank you for joining me today. Do not forget that tonight we have our Wednesday night live club happening tonight. It's a Zoom meeting, so you get to chat, we get to chat, you get to ask questions. The topic for tonight, the main topic, is how to hack your diet. I'm going to teach you the tricks that me and Mahei use to basically hack our way through this whole diet and wellness journey. So join us, go to Bridget's Healthy Kitchen family page. So that's our private group. You will see the announcement, the link for the meeting is in there. Be online tonight and we can chat and we can talk and we can have a lovely community get together with all the wonderful people part of Bridget's Healthy Kitchen, our family private support group. So hope to see you there. Enjoy these. I want to keep going. I've got more. I can make my hay more later on. All right, guys. Take care, be safe, and I'll see you for the next Mexican cooking class here in Bridget's Healthy Kitchen. Take care. Bye.